And I was looking for a business coach. I couldn't find one. And I thought, there's the opportunity to become a business coach, which took me down another journey.
My realisation is everyone's got a problem they're working on. That's the reality. It's either this, or this. It's marketing, it's sales, it's people, it's not enough cash, it's too much cash, don't know how to handle it, it's not delivery problems. There's always an issue.
I'm not going to lie, I've been involved with many, many businesses. It's been a colourful journey. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. I was the worst salesman there. I couldn't sell a home. But I realized later that
Welcome to the DevReady podcast, where we've been helping non-techs build better tech and also driving business and how do we grow, manage, scale technology businesses and any business in between, really. It's all the same. We're delivering a service and offering via technology. It might be scalable or via the point of a one-to-one service. Today, joined by Themi. He's, I would probably call a bit of a serial entrepreneur. He's been in tech startup land, scaling and raising capital, been in business coaching around the traps, run his own real estate firm for a little while, and a few different things in between, and now currently sitting in the space of property maintenance business that he's running. Themi, thank you for joining us. It'll be a nice little journey in the history of you and what you've learned across business today. It should be good fun.
good to be here, Andrew. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Now, coming from all the way in South Africa, Cape Town, I believe. Is that where you are?
Cape Storms. Yeah,
Yes.
Cape Town.
Yeah.
Which is the southern,
It's cool.
southern tip of South Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, nice part of the world, I imagine. Never been there. In terms of yourself, let's just introduce you. So tell the audience, who is Themi? What's your background? And we'll just have a bit of a conversation around business, really.
Oh, thanks, Andrew. Very excited to be on this podcast and spend time with the audience. So, Andrew, as you've introduced me, I think I'm not going to lie. I've been involved with many, many businesses. It's been a colourful journey. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. And I'm in an interesting space right now. So maybe I should just start, just to give a little bit of context to the audience where I started. So, I started off not at, when I left school, I didn't have a degree. I couldn't study like the rest of my friends who all became doctors and engineers. My path was slightly different. I was in love with business, and I loved the opportunity. I loved the creativity of taking businesses and building them. And my first business was a pizzeria. We used to deliver in bow ties, and it was very successful. The first one.
Got a photo anywhere lying around? It was the bow tie.
Yeah, we couldn't deliver from. We delivered from from most pizzerias were delivering from a backyard or from a garage space. So in order to present themselves, they were wearing bow ties so that they can be a little bit more suave. But we eventually had a retail outlet and we delivered with bow ties. So that was quite different. And we did quite well with it. We opened a second franchise, sold that, started pursuing property. I was looking at the space this time of the property boom in South Africa, and most successful entrepreneurs were doing very well with property. So I said, how do I get involved with property? And it started an estate agency. So that took me down a different path. I was the worst salesman there. I couldn't sell a home. But I realized later that if I put the systems and the people in place, I can build this business. And eventually I had a manager selling, with his team selling property, and it was a little successful business. We bought quite a bit and sold that just before the decline. And then that took me to an online venture to the UK, where I learned how to get funding. We started a business called Yes, No, Maybe. And it was an online dating site at this stage, built with flash technology. We had a bunch of Ukrainians build it. We attracted interest from venture capitalists, and long story short, we got people investing in the company. But one of the conditions was that I get a business coach to help me, and it was an interesting journey. And that's where I think this little journey gets a little bit more interesting. Is that I think when I realized how a business coach can help speed up sales, can help speed up your skill set in managing more people, can help implement better systems.
The right business coach, obviously, because there's many out there. But yeah, how do we find the right person? That's probably an interesting question we can dive into.
I think I was lucky, Andrew. I was lucky. We
Well, we need a bit of luck in life. Yeah.
I didn't know what a business coach was. I was just picked up the phone. I phoned whoever I could find, and liked this guy. And he immediately did some personality profile tests. He says, "Themi, this is your strengths. You need to stick in your strengths. This is where you need to stay. Your strengths." I said, "But I thought I was good at you're not good at these other things. You need to subcontract those out, or you need to find out and stick in your lane. Do what you do best." And so fast forwarding again, sold that business, came back to South Africa. I had a sick dad at that stage, and I needed to get back here. And I was looking for a business coach. I couldn't find one. And I thought, there's the opportunity to become a business coach, which took me down another journey. So I signed up with ActionCOACH. Brad Sugars started ActionCOACH, an Australian franchise, bought the franchise for South Africa. I must say, when I bought the franchise for coaching, I flew to Vegas where the training was. And, Brad Sugars is this magnificent Australian character that doesn't believe in recessions. He's just that, Mr. Coach, if your guys aren't doing well, you're a crap coach. If your clients aren't doing well, you're not a good coach, and kudos to him. He changed my mind shift, my mindset quite a lot, to think differently around business.
What's a couple of key takeaways you took through just that early stages of being a coach? Because there's so many, in my mind, I've been around business groups and everything. My realization is everyone's got a problem they're working on. That's the reality. It's either this, or this. It's marketing, it's sales, it's people, it's not enough cash, it's too much cash, don't know how to handle it, it's not delivery problems. There's always an issue. I'd love to see what you saw in the world of running and working with businesses along the journey.
Yeah, so Andrew, what I found working with people, I think I had about 17, 18 clients at the time, seeing them weekly. It took me a long time to get to that stage. I thought I made a big mistake buying a license. I'd be at a networking event, Andrew, and I would say, the people say, "What do you do?" And I'd say, "I'm a business coach with ActionCOACH." Mm-hmm. And they say, "Oh, you can help me stop smoking or lose weight?" I said, No, I can help you. I can help you with your business, coming back to your point, when it really started turning for me, I hired a coach from Australia, one of the top coaches in the world. And when I met up with Bruce, he said to me, "Themi, I'm going to take my USB and I'm going to plug it into you, and you're going to download everything that I know. This Australian coach." And since then, my coaching practice took off. I built up a very successful practice. And the biggest challenge that I find with entrepreneurs, and that comes back to the question I was asking you, is, Andrew, when you started with your 3 techies, yeah. Can you remember, can you go back that far? Was it 18, 20 years ago?
Yes, it was 2008, so yeah, 18 years ago. Can I remember? I can remember. Yeah, I can remember hacking away, developing. We started in the world of educational tools. So we were in uni when we started the business. It was off the back of, there was like education science centres where we are in Melbourne. Across Melbourne, there's 6 or 7 of them, government-funded centres, and one was space science. And we did a couple of internal projects with them over the years through uni, and they needed some support, and that was an opportunity. So we took it and we said, okay, we can probably help. And that sort of started the business. We just jumped into it. So we started supporting them. We built a bunch of tools, which were mostly space science education-based tools with simulation-type education for anywhere from year 7 to year 11 kids. So that sort of 12, 13-year-old to 16, 17-year-old. But I was hands-on in the tools, developing, and that sort of stopped probably about 5 years in, and I had to shift. But yeah, that was a way back. And I remember a little room with a couple of guys in there and getting a couple of interns out of the uni when we needed some resources, and that's how we managed it for a while. We worked off the uni grounds for a while, which was good, bad, and indifferent. But it was a lifetime ago, that's for sure.
Well, Andrew, kudos to you, mate, because I believe that founders, business owners, entrepreneurs are a little unhinged.
A touch. A touch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would agree. Yeah, I would
I
agree.
mean,
Yeah.
the risk that you took, the uncertainty. I mean, 18 years ago, if you had to really put yourself back into those shoes again, the uncertainty that you had working in the room with these three people, you had a vision possibly where you want to take the business. Maybe you didn't have a vision.
No, I don't
Maybe,
think we did. We enjoyed building stuff and we had an opportunity to build some stuff. So we started a business and started building some stuff. That was the reality. So we were really on the tools. So most businesses
okay.
probably start that way, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
businesses start that way. So here's the thing, Andrew, when you started that way, how many hats did you start wearing as a business owner?
You did sales, you did delivery, and that was probably all you needed at that point. It wasn't too much. Little bit of marketing. We didn't know what we were doing there, but yeah, you just pick up things as you go. Then you go into managing accounts, operations as you grow, and it's just too many hats.
And then you hire a techie that doesn't work out and you need to get rid of him because he's on payroll. Then you start wearing an HR hat. And then, IT starts upgrading. You need to you need to bring innovation in place. Then your leads start drying up because one of your main clients stops ordering from you. And you need to say, hold on a second, I need to diversify. We need a couple of more people like this. So we need to start marketing. So you need to put a marketing hat on. And then you need to go and see the client. So you have to wear a sales hat. And then slowly, you have to wear probably 8 or 9 or 10 hats that we're juggling as business owners all the time. And that, Andrew, if you don't know how to do that properly, can lead to burnout.
Oh, I would agree. And I've been through those journeys over the time. It's like, carving out has been important over the journey. Learning that doing too much is not good. And you're still probably overstretching most of the time. That's the challenge that you have to manage.
Yeah, so the amount of entrepreneurs that are coached on a weekly basis, Andrew, like you were saying, I think we had that little discussion. You said, well, they're bringing 17 problems to the coaching session.
Yeah, 17 clients, 17 problems times, like you said, times 10. Yeah, how many do they really bring?
And a good coach is going to say, okay, let's prioritize. And then you still have to have in your session, you've got to try and bring the wins in as well. Because as business owners, we still need to work with people. Whether we're outsourcing it or not, we need to show we are the business and people buy our energy. And when we die and we're burning out and
Correct, yeah, you need some, we're flat, we're in trouble. Yeah,
we're in trouble. We're just
we
going to
are.
see a decline in staff morale, in the way we're operating our business, in sales maybe. And what's worse is us as entrepreneurs, business owners, founders, we take it home with us because our business doesn't end. You tell me if there's a business owner that doesn't take work home.
It's just 24/7, isn't it? Isn't that reality? Yeah, all the time it happens,
It
it
happens. And
does.
I mean, I'm sure there's some listeners out there say, well, I don't take work home. I've got boundaries. And that's cool. But the majority of business owners, they take work home. So, we're going to impact our spouses. We're going to impact our family. We're going to impact our relationships. And for that reason, I decided to be in that space of helping entrepreneurs get out of that rut. And I was pretty successful with it. It took me a while. I mean, I've got clients that I've been coaching since 2017 that I'm still coaching every second week that we've grown. And it's been a very interesting journey. But, there was a tipping point for me, Andrew. I was building up these clients and there was incongruency because I was teaching them to build businesses to work without them. And I was stuck in my business practice. And that's
Yeah,
how
okay.
I decided the itch was there. I decided to look outside to build another business that can work profitably without me. And that's how LabWorks started. So we've got a roofing business currently, a flat roof waterproofing business too. We specialized in flat roof waterproofing. And we refiberglass swimming pools. And so those are the three ventures. We started off with just the waterproofing, and now it's grown to roofing and it's grown to pools. But I've used all my experience from coaching thousands of businesses in groups and online to really build this business. And I'm building a business to work profitably without me. And I'm unapologetic about it. To my team, to my family, to my suppliers, that is the way we're going. And I think once I crossed that hurdle where I was comfortable saying it, because I think there was an issue, I felt bad saying that to my team. It's like, guys, I'm building a team, building this business to work without me profitably. Oh, so that you can go and sit in Hawaii and go and surf all day.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Why not? You know, we take the risk to run businesses.
You take massive risks to jump into business. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
You know, we some of us, we sign up our bonds or our houses as collateral and security to take the business to the next level. We don't take pay for 6-7 months. I mean, LabWorks, the company I started now, I think it was about 18 months that I took sporadic pay. I hardly drew a salary.
It's not a normal. Yes.
No, it's not normal.
Not uncommon.
That's why I say, Andrew, we unhinged.
Dude, unhinged, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we always wear the brunt of if there's something wrong, it goes back to the people owning the business or the founders or the people operating. It does. It impacts, and it always will come around in circles. In terms of, let's dig into that. So you're still coaching a little bit. If anyone's out there in this position, maybe in burnout, looking to maybe scale, they want to step back, but they're stuck in it. And it's a perpetuating cycle, right? Because if you're stuck in it, you're doing it, you don't have time to work on the business systems process. What do you say to those people to really get them moving in a direction that takes them out of that mindset? Because there's a mindset shift.
It's a mindset. Yeah,
it is. It's I'm just doing this and doing task by task, or what am I actually doing? What am I growing? What am I seeing?
I don't know if you find that too. There's a lot of people that talk in the space, but they throw tactics like, here's your diary. There's your diary. Show me your diary. Okay. Mm-hmm. And yes, that can help. Because I can see from a client over 2 weeks or 3 weeks, let's track your time. Let's see where you're working.
Yeah.
Okay, geez, you've been working in ops all the time, but you're not working on your business. You're working in it. Okay, and I know that's something that's been overdone these days, but there's an element of truth in that. We need to define what in it and on it means.
That's a fair point. It just gets thrown around, canned around, right? So what do you see on and in your mind?
Yeah. So in the business is, I believe, you stuck in operations. You're doing the dev work. You're doing the client liaising. I mean, I remember, Andrew, I was coaching a very successful landscaping firm. Mm-hmm. And I had the 3 directors in front of me in my boardroom, and we tracked their time, and we said, okay, well, you're spending a large amount of time quoting, okay, as a director. He says, yes, that's working on your business. I said, no, is it?
Probably not, no. I'd say no, because it's delivery, right? That's making sales.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So I said, okay, well, let's define, quoting. Can you give it to someone else to do? No, it's impossible to give it to someone else to do. In contracting, you should be doing the quotes. Now, what is that?
That's control as well. Fear of maybe the quotes going out and not making any money on them. There's a fear of that. Yeah.
Well, Andrew, to justify how this founder thought, he built this business from scratch. Okay. And he understands plants, and he understands what mix to supply.
Just easy for him. And that's the problem. It's easy, so you can do it.
It's easy for us. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing, and I find this really helps. You asked me how. Yes, it's a mindset. Primarily, it's a mindset. We need to buy into the fact that if we closed-minded to the fact that a business can operate successfully without us, if we closed-minded about that fact, it's a belief issue. And a belief issue is very difficult to change. You need some serious coaching to move that gauge.
It'll take years to move the gauge, probably.
Yeah. So when I started my business, which is in contracting, it wasn't landscaping, but I can apply it to landscaping. I said, I'm doing the quotes initially, but I'm going to extract myself from that process right from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to write an SOP, a standard operation procedures manual, on how to do a quote. Because
That's the only way
it's
to
just,
get out. Yeah.
yeah. So dump what's in my mind. But I did the quotes myself, got into the roofs. I remember quoting for 3.5 kilometers of box cutter on these big commercial roofs. We got the job and just went back and said, how did I quote for this job? Let me record it, even if it's on video or cam, let me record it. And with AI today, guys, with
AI
AI,
today, you're so quick to build process and thing.
it's
It's
so
so easy.
good to build
Yeah, yeah.
processes now. We can say, okay, what's the 20% that I can start delegating out today?
Yeah.
Open up ChatGPT or Claude, and you can specifically type that prompt in there and say, this is what I do. This is the way I do it. Can you put it in a user-friendly SOP that I can deliver to my team members? And it'll come out with a document that we can save on the cloud. We've pretty advanced the way we've done it.
So back to that point of on your business, writing that SOP is working on your business, I would imagine. That's how I see it,
Exactly.
because it's building an asset or something repeatable that can be replaced or handed over knowledge. That's training, right? It's a structure.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, first of all, what's the most important asset that you possess, Andrew?
I possess, or we possess as founder owners. Who are you asking
As
it to?
owners, but let's go to you. Let's make that personal.
You really know the ins and outs of everything because you've done it for so long and you've learnt it on the job, which is that's the value prop. So you're able to, for me, it's where my value comes is more in solution and client facing. That's where my value is, because I can piece so much stuff together that we've done in the past, connect dots, and it's easier to solve problems. So that's where I see the biggest value for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Not in ops and anything else.
Okay. And if you were too busy quoting or too busy in ops, would you have time to attend to that valuable? You don't. So then I would argue, Andrew, that time's more valuable.
Time. Yeah, time is the most valuable asset that we have, of course. It's
Yeah.
more valuable than cash because, time enables us to, if we can free up 10 hours, there's so much you can do with that.
So I believe quite strongly entrepreneurial business owners, founders, who I think a lot of listeners might be. Here's a different way of re-looking at this whole process about working on your business and working in it. Is that what does an attorney charge on an hourly basis in your country?
$350, $500 an hour and more, depends. Yeah.
Okay, $350, $400 an hour, and justifiably so. But what do we charge as most founders as an hourly rate?
Very little. You can sometimes give your time away. Yeah.
Yeah, we give our time away. Okay. And I would argue that we need to reframe the way we look at because we're adding so much value in the economy, in Australians' economy, South Africans' economy. We're adding so much value. We're employing people. We're building businesses. Our hourly rate's important to us. If we remain sane and we build our business to work without us, we go home to our family with eviction, and we can spend time building relationships and with the important people that we do. If we're burning out, there's no ways we're going to take it home with us. So our hourly rate's important to us. So where are we spending our hours? Are we spending it on low hourly rate activity? Or are we spending it on high hourly rate activity? And high hourly rate activity are mostly repetitive functions, systems that we can apply in our business and that we can get other people to start doing. So delegating those low hourly rate activities to people so we can focus on high hourly rate activities, which is maybe face-to-face with clients, being creative.
Yeah, those things are going to move the needle. Yeah, for me, it's partnerships, it's growth, it's future state, it's positioning, where are we going in the next 24 months, it's strategy. That's where the most value is. You're not getting necessarily paid for that, but you are in the long run. That's where you need to put your energy. Doing bookwork or doing a quote, like you said, can churn time, but it's not necessarily the best use of time.
So Andrew, when I was coaching these businesses, I felt bad for a lot of the clients because they were burning out. And, first of all, it needed a mindset set change or reframing the way we look at our time and hours. And then building a vision of what's possible, because people don't know what they don't know. We don't know. We don't know what's possible.
We've got blinkers on. We walk around with blinkers on. That's what we see. And we relate everything that we see as possible as what we've done in the past. And that's not really reality unless we take it that way. Unless we relive and do things the same way again and again and again. Then it will become reality. So, just breaking out pattern is probably the critical thing.
So when I started LabWorks, I started quoting, and I said to myself, this journey, I'll take a bit longer to get there, but I'm going to start building a business to work without me from the beginning. So I first have to say it. And by saying it, I start developing this identity of that founder that is building his business to work without him profitably. And why do I want to do that? And I say to my team, I'm doing that because if something happens to me, team, you don't have a business, you won't have jobs.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Yeah. It's all reliant on critical people. Yeah.
I'm being selfish if I'm building it around me. I don't want to build a lifestyle business. I'm building it for you. In fact, even my kids, my children, people ask me, are you building this business for your children to join you? I said, no, I'm building it for my team. I want to make a difference to my business that way. And we're building a phenomenal business where we'll probably be a South African name brand in the near future, because that's where we see the business going. We see that opportunity.
Big vision of that, yeah, of course.
It hasn't been easy. I have my downs like everybody else.
Nothing's easy. Yeah. If it was easy, everyone would do it. That's a clear statement that gets thrown around a lot, but it's reality. And I've never seen any business owner or spoken to anyone that said it's been an easy ride. No. There's nobody that I've spoken to, even doesn't matter what background, history, how much money you've raised along the journey, it's never an easy ride. And there's always a challenge that gets thrown at you that can be confronting sometimes, and then we wear it, we hold it, and then we need to let go of it and move on. There's always those moments that can come at us in business, and they come from any angle. It's AFL footy, which you wouldn't see much of over there, I'd imagine. You're playing a game on a 360-degree angle. Anyone can hit you from any angle. That's what I think a business owner is. They're running in this direction. You can get hit from behind, back, forward, anywhere. And that's what I feel like a business is sometimes. And just being set up with the right structures to handle it. Yeah.
Andrew, we're crazy to be business owners, but we are. That's the route we chose. And I actually find it quite interesting because, it takes a special kind of character to be a founder and a business owner. And I could just take my hat off to them. My heart lies with founders and business owners because the shit that they've got to endure to build businesses, and sometimes they've got to sell their home to keep the business afloat. They don't take the salary first. They take the salary hit in the beginning so the teams can get paid.
Correct. Otherwise, you can't build anything without a team, right? So it's not possible. Maybe with AI, you can sit there on your couch and build a business. There are some people out there doing that. So, that's shifting the dynamic.
I'm finding AI. So where do you think AI is going to, how do you think AI is going to be playing a role?
I'm heavy in tech. So right now it's playing a role in the way we develop, operate, we build our own systems internally to manage our own things. So where it will continue to go, it's just going to continue to catapult the ability to innovate, create new things. To what end, though, is probably the question mark that everyone's asking. I don't think anyone's got that answer yet.
So Andrew, what I'm finding with business owners, because I'm still coaching, there's a lot of overwhelm as well with all the AI that's going around because...
Yeah, they could be because it's unknown, right? What do you do with it? I think being in it and being in technology, it takes the overwhelm away, enables you to see the opportunity more than anything at this moment. So I'm in a moment of lots of opportunity, probably too much sometimes. And a business owner, we've got to be conscious of, if there's too much opportunity, you got to say no to a lot too, because otherwise you can stretch again. Even though you got everything humming over here, you start stretching and going too far. So you need to say no. But yeah, I see lots of opportunity. One in just any business can improve the efficiency and operation quite effectively. What you're talking about, building SOPs and systems, technology can help you do that a lot quicker now. So there's lots of opportunity to catapult from where you are today to next phase of business. Not saying we'll have all the answers, no one does. I think we're always at our edge in business. That's what I've realised over the journey.
Do you think that we're in a better situation with AI as founders than we would be without?
I think we are. As a founder, you got a better opportunity to create a business right now than you ever have. Yeah. In 10 years' time, is that going to be the same scenario? I'm not sure. In 5 years' time, it may not be the same scenario. But right now, you've got more opportunity to shift and pivot and create product and innovate quickly, more effectively. And that's where I see the opportunity. Yeah.
So here's the thing, Andrew. I think also because of founders, we kind of used to dealing with uncertainty. So we can pretty much deal with the space better than the average person, I suppose, because
I'd say so, yeah, because that's fair.
There's a lot of disruption now, okay.
Oh, 100%. There's plenty of disruption.
I agree. Founders need to focus on the 20% that are going to create 80% of the result. And that's the thing. I mean, I bring that in with my team the whole time. So team, what is our main job here? Our main role is to create more leaders. If we want to scale this business, our role is to create more leaders.
I've learned that over the later part of my business, but it's all about leadership. Yeah, if you don't have the right leaders in the right place, you'll let you continue. Yeah, you're on a hiding to nothing. There's no way to scale without good leaders.
And as leaders, like if you're not using AI in your business and we're not giving access to AI to our team, I think we're in for a hiding.
I agree. You are in for definitely a hiding. Yeah.
But there's many founders, Andrew, that don't believe. Oh, no, I'm not going to give. And then these people stay in the dark. And there's a window. I don't know how big that window is. But once that...
No, not very big if you're sitting in the dark right now. Yeah. That's being in tech. Reality is we're handing over as much technology and AI support to our team and spending lots of money in that space because you see the opportunity, and if you're not doing it, you're miles behind. Yeah, miles behind.
I mean, it's also helping us as well because sometimes we want to draw up a legal agreement and we take the brunt. We don't not send it to the attorney, but we take the hourly rate.
No, but we've got a starting point. Yeah, we do. Instead of him doing 8 hours of work, he's done 2 now. Yeah, it just helps from that perspective for sure.
So I'm finding that quite nice, and I'm also finding it very good with we're using ChatGPT and Claude and maybe Grok, those three technologies at the moment, and I find with a little bit of coaching, my team's starting to use AI and leverage of AI to build personality profile systems, to upload personality profile systems of the team. So there's one called DISC, which is quite interesting. So doing personality profile tests of the team and saying, okay, guys, we have a cultural issue here. Our team's growing, but we need to discuss this. So let's upload the DISC. So we upload the DISC into a project that we created in one of the AIs. And we say, act as a DISC professional and an HR consultant, knowing where we want to take our company. What are we missing with our mix of people, and what are the people really good at? And it's changed the game completely because it's come out with a report, Andrew, that's saying, team, you're very good at this, but you shouldn't be out in the field dealing with clients. That's probably not where you're having fun and that you're happy doing at all. So we need to shuffle things around.
You want everyone doing the things they enjoy and are good at. That's what I've learned over the job. If you don't, we had we brought a lady into business who was running ops. She was good at it, but don't know, she loved it. And I started to learn about her and who she was, did some profiling. She used to love writing. Love writing. She's a creative writer in the background and really enjoyed that space. She now heads up our marketing team in terms of content creation and completely shifted. She always was in ops and she loves what she does and she edits podcasts, she writes blog content, she does all this space and drives all that. Yeah, she's creative. So if you're in the wrong seat, you might be good at it. Doesn't necessarily you're going to be happy in it either. So I could see something not quite right, and I think just understanding and leadership is important. Where they sit, what inspires them, what their flow energy is. We've also run some different things around wealth dynamics, which is another survey that we run.
Roger Hamilton, he's brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, and that's enabled us to see where people sit in the landscape of things. So, and where their flow energy is, right? Because it's important to understand who we got around us because we're all different. No one's the same. That's what I found.
So, Andrew, I'm finding, you've just been talking about AI as a founder. I'm finding AI hugely beneficial as a founder because it's helping me. I think one of the areas as a founder, we sometimes lose focus. You mentioned it. There's so much going on.
Oh, you can. You get lost in it, yeah.
How many squirrels can you chase?
Yeah, lucky if you could chase one, let's be honest.
So, I put into Claude or I put into, I need to chase one squirrel. You help me stay focused,
Yeah,
So every day I'm asking Claude and I'm saying to Claude, you need to give me feedback. This is what I'm doing. And it keeps me pretty focused. And I'll say to her, please be ruthless here. I don't want you to give in to my parry. I want you to be straight with me. And that's straight with you. You're wasting time. Your high hourly rate activity is X, and you're focusing on Y, Themi.
So you're using AI as a coach.
I'm using AI as a coach, and I'm loving it because it's getting more accurate. Yeah.
How have you approached that? Is it just conversationally, or have you put content in terms of the way you would coach from your past, or how have you approached it?
So I've created MD files. I'm sure you're familiar with it in Claude, in the descriptions. And I've given it a very good description. Our first was a ChatGPT, and I exported the whole conversation to Chat. I said, please create an MD file of all the chats and all the projects that we had, and I uploaded it into Claude. So I'm basically using those two at the moment to work against each other. But it's quite interesting that you say that because I've said to Claude, knowing who I am, understanding where I'm taking my business, where am I falling short? Don't hold back. And if you need to attack my character, go ahead. So I'm giving it permission.
Go ahead. You're giving me free rein. Yes.
It's amazing. It's amazing what it comes up with. It's pretty ruthless, and it's, double check. You need to really look.
Yeah, that's a good, interesting approach, and I think something I would do around strategy and different things, but just using it as a coach, interesting approach. I might give it a go myself in terms of the way we're assessing and driving the business forward, because you never really know what you don't know, and I think having coaches, mentors around you is critical. We always have had coaches, mentors. We've fell into some different coaches, mentors over the journey too, through good, bad, and in different times. So being introduced to different people, it's interesting when you go through challenging periods in business. You come along different people that can give you a different perspective. So I found that too pops up sometimes. So that's been fascinating.
Very, very open. But Andrew, that won't happen if you're not open-minded.
Yeah, you need to be. It's true.
You're open-minded, so you're open to that perspective. But coming back to AI, Andrew, like what I find is take the different profile. I mean, you can do an online DISC profile test, which is the driver, influencer, stable, compliant. Are you more reserved? Are you more outgoing? Are you more task orientated, or are you more, relationship orientated? Because you can't be, if you're very task orientated, you're not usually relationship orientated.
No, generally not, because you're just getting stuff done. Yeah, that's your day.
If you're more conservative, you probably, or more reserved, you're probably not outgoing. They're polar opposites. So you sit somewhere on that map, and I like DISC, but I bring it in with Wealth Dynamics too. I would upload it into Claude and say, this is my personality profile. in order for me to take the
Help
business
me.
to the next level.
This is where we're at. Yeah, tell it.
Yeah. And it'll summarize it for you. So it takes all the stuff out of it and summarize it for you.
I'll give it a
Very
go
neat.
from that perspective as a coach. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Because, yeah, and another thing, it's a bit lonely when you're running a business. I think you know that, talking to business owners. Yes, it can be lonely if you don't share and communicate. And I've learned that over the years. I used to hold a lot in. But yeah, it doesn't work. Just holding it all in doesn't work. Sharing a journey, having people around you working to the same clear path is critical. Otherwise, it just gets a little bit lost.
I think you've hit the nail on the head, Andrew. I don't think there's one founder out there that doesn't find it lonely at some stage, because the problem sits with you. You know, you can't go out to the world and go and tell them, listen, I'm having issues at work. There's some problem. You've got to like internalize it. Maybe you take it out on your wife when you get home, or your spouse, your partner. It sits with you.
Yeah, it does.
So what I found usually helps with that is, I don't know if you have like founder organizations, and you probably do.
I reckon we do. I'm a part of a business group that I attend to every couple of weeks. It's like a mastermind sort of group. So always done that. And got an advisor around us that sits more in that salesy, opsy area. We catch up with him every couple of weeks. So yeah, just having that sounding board is good. You need it. Yeah, definitely need it. Yeah. So that's always a journey in itself. If you're out there, if anyone's listening to this, it's just been a general chat. It's been good fun. What would you recommend that people are in that burnout phase? Where do they start? What do they do? Because I know there's many that are in business that are probably banging your heads against the wall or stuck in a bit of burnout. Where do we begin? What do we do? How do we get out of there?
Well, first of all, I think entrepreneurs need to have that mindset change, that they are building a business around themselves. They're going to possibly get to a stage where there's going to be burnout. I find what really helps with me, because my general manager he was really controlling. He just found it very difficult to let go. Until I had one conversation with him, and Hendricks, he said to me, Themi, the one conversation you had with me changed the way I think about the way I'm running my business, because I was leading to burnout, because I wanted to control everything to make sure that things run to my standard. Now, here's the thing. When we're running business to our standard, it's usually at a high standard. And most founders or business owners feel that they can do it a lot better than most of their employees. Right, Andrew?
And I hear that and I hate it. Yeah, I hate it. Especially the leadership. They say that, I should do it myself. No, you shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just sick and tired of having to explain it. I mean, do I have to draw pictures? I'll just do it myself. And there's a risk in that.
Yeah, that's not a good place. Yeah, I agree.
So again, reframing the mindset is, how can I create an environment where people can operate at 70% of my capacity?
Yeah, not the expectation of 120. Let's put it that way. Yeah, maybe it's the expectation issue. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'd rather have 5 or 6 people operating at 70% of my capacity, because we can do a lot of shit, entrepreneurs and founders. We can juggle, and when we really put our mind to things, and I'm not, we can do a lot. We can do things well, and our standard is usually very high. So we expect everyone to do it at our standard. Okay, and maybe reframing that and saying, hold on a second, I'm going to relook at the way I expect a high standard, but I'm going to expect it at 70% for a start, because I'd rather have a few people operating at 70% than me operating at 100% or 110% and I reach burnout. Does that make sense, Andrew?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it does. Yeah, just to sit. But then obviously you're looking at training. How do you uplift that standard in a future state, right? So how do we build systems and process around to continually drive the standards up? That's a good point, because you bring someone in, you expect them to be at your level, and the reality is the likelihood of that is 1 in 100. That's what I've seen in my business. 1 in 50. 1 in a couple. You might get a couple that are at your level. But team of 50, 60, if you look at you can just throw them anything and they'll do it. That's like a founder. There's not many. Yeah.
There's not many. And I suppose you reach a stage, Andrew, because I mean, I'm probably there now as well, is that you start looking for other people that can do things better than you as a founder, right? Surrounding yourself.
Oh, you definitely need people that can do better than you because
Surrounding yourself with people that can do things better. So maybe at 120, 30% of your standard, because they've just done it before.
Yeah, and there's different areas of business as you grow and scale. You don't want to be managing marketing and managing just sales, managing ops, managing delivery. You can't. It's just ridiculous.
Most business owners cannot do that initially. I can say that without eviction. They can't because...
No, they can do it in 20% of some... Yeah, it's true. They just have to do it.
So the way to do that is to expect a little bit less, but make sure that we're coaching them. I mean, I'm not saying we need to accept substandard. We're accepting a high standard, but we're not expecting to operate at my level, and come down a bit, okay? And then build systems, because there's things that we do every day that if we document it, they repeat it from walking into the business and switching on the lights to leaving and switching off the computers. I think if we do that process flow, there's probably areas that are repetitive, that are so repetitive.
Oh, there are many that are repetitive, yes. Yeah, I think the reality is that most of them are repetitive. Just in your world, you're in the roofing business, I'd imagine they're very similar until there's something that's a bit obscure and you've got to do something a bit different. So that will happen. So there's a lot of repetition in the whole process.
So, Andrew, what we've done is we've systemized the back office. We call it back office, which is, warehouse. We've got standard operation procedure manuals for our warehouse area. We've got standard operation procedures of how our clients, when our customer care people pick up the phone, how they answer, how they enter things into the CRM system. I don't know which one you use. We use Go High Level as a CRM system.
We're in Pipedrive. Yeah.
You're in Pipedrive. Yeah.
In Pipedrive. Yeah.
So, and how to move people across the sales process.
Question for you, because this is one thing that systems, process, procedures, we've found that we've had to systemize the system that tracks and manages the processes and procedures just to make it a lot easier for people. On a piece of paper, sometimes things get lost. So that's what we've found. So systemizing the SOPs has become an area that we've spent a lot of time in over the past couple of years, just to make it a little more easy to track, gauge, and so things don't get lost. We've got a lot of steps in what we do, from idea right through to custom development. There's many steps and things that can go wrong. So we've put steps and gates and checklists across it. It's been interesting. So that keeps evolving though.
And I suppose, Andrew, there's an element of over systemizing, right?
Not necessarily. I think there's a granular point of yes. There's a point where you go too far, but having good gates of checks and balances we've found is important, especially in the space that we're in. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's an element of software that we bring into our business as well. We've got an online job card system where all the photos go on, all our communications go out to the client. We send GPS coordinates to say that we're on our way. That plugs into Xero, so it's integrated into Xero so that we can get real-time accuracy. We've got another software system called Wink that pulls the dashboards, pulls the dashboards from those areas, like from Xero and from the online job card system. And we've got Go High Level as well, which is our CRM system. And all this needs to talk and work together.
Yeah, it has to communicate together. Otherwise, if you work in silos, you've got disconnection of data and it doesn't really work. Yeah, and that's when you're hand-holding, and that's where things get lost if there's no connection, really.
I'm very big on my team, because so much can go wrong. A team, we want to systemize routine, 80%. So systemize routine, 80%, but we want to humanize the exception, 20%.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to humanize that exception, 20%. What does that mean? We unpack that because it means a lot.
Yeah, explain that one to me.
Okay, so there's routine that we can systemize in our business that we start leveraging our time as individuals, that it carries on going and there's consistency. From switching on the lights to putting on the TV to entering things into Pipedrive and how to drag your client across.
Yeah, those basic things that have to get done. Yes. Yeah.
Those are systems. But you're going to end up coming across a stage where there's an unhappy client.
Oh, it's kind of inevitable. The more clients you deal with, you're going to have unhappy clients. Yes.
You can systemize it to a degree. You can systemize the way you speak
That's
to
a
the
fair
client.
point. Yeah. There's an approach, but then there's the human element, like you said. Yeah. How do you manage and maneuver your way through those moments? Yes.
Park the system. Now we become humanized. Let's not lose the human element of the AI systems and all those things. We can still bring the human element into it, because the human element, I think, this is where AI is going to miss it a bit. And I think a lot of founders need to just understand that people build relationships. That's what they do, because they want to connect. Okay.
Yeah, we always would connect. We're on a podcast, we're connecting, we don't know each other, but we're having a conversation, finding ways to connect. You're going to do that, and that's the reality. For a computer talking to a computer, it's a different thing.
I mean, I was watching a YouTube video of an AI broadcaster, and she basically got a clone of her talking on, and the clone's doing and she's getting a lot of views. I don't know how long that'll last, but people still, I look at it and I say, look, I've watched the first 15. Great, I'm learning a lot. But I can't help just think there's a human being somewhere. Okay, and I want to connect with that human being, So the humanizing exception is like, even in sales, is like we can build sales processes or email sequences or automated email sequences.
Yeah, and we should be doing these, but there is that human element that closes the deal and works it out and understands where the person's coming from, what they value. You have to spend time with people to close the deal.
We've got the standard thing at work. We say, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Get away from email. Pick up the phone. We always do this. Pick up the phone. And that's what I mean by the 20%, Andrew, is that area. And also we're building an incredible value system within our company. There's a couple of values. Initiative is one of those values. So when we have this whole spider web of technology in our business, we're going to have issues where sometimes they don't talk to each other, or there's a misalignment.
It will happen. Yeah, there's never going to be perfect. There's no perfect business or system or structure. It's going to work all the time.
So let's use our initiative. There comes the 20%. Let's not lose the initiative and rely on system. And so my team knows you're not only accountable for making sure the systems are running, but you're accountable for using your initiative. That 20%, we want to make sure it's very prevalent in our business.
Yeah, that's an interesting approach, and I think that's something. We're all looking to drive initiative in people, in culture. I'm looking to drive creative thinking, challenging the status quo, innovation. There are all those areas that are important when you're in a space like we're in, which is very innovative. You have to be a part of the ecosystem of AI changing. It's moving, it's shifting. We need to shift with it. Otherwise, we're miles behind the next group that's delivering systems like we are. So you need that across your people. I get that. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Themi, well, I think we could chat all day, but I think it's time to Andrew. We'll come back again. I'm sure we can talk specifically around some different areas, but thank you for coming on the DevReady podcast. Themi, really appreciate your time, and I'm sure we'll see you again on the DevReady podcast. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you, Andrew. Love being here, and good luck. Speak soon.